Hello everyone and welcome to Homeschooling with Hera. Today we shall learn how to write English alphabet. If you want to write English alphabet on the color pages that I'm using, you can download them from the description box of this video. Let's get started. The first letter is A, which says A. To write letter A, begin with line number 1 and make a steep line, slanting line. Again, put your pencil here at the top and make a slanting line. And at line number 2, you need to make a straight sleeping line. This is your A. Now let's write A. To make A, keep your pencil between line number 2 and 3 and make a semicircle like go up, down and a little out. A. A. You can pause the video and try it yourself. Letter B. B says B. To write capital B, begin with line number 1, go to line number 3. Standing line. Make a semicircle. Make another semicircle. This is B. Let's write B. Start with the first line, go to line number 3. Come up on the same line and make a belly. B. 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 Letter C. C says K. To write the capital C, start a little below the first line and make a curvy shape to the third line. Stop. This is C. To write K, you need to take line number 2 and 3 and draw the same shape. And this is K. C says K. Next is letter D. D says D. To write the capital D, begin with the first line and go to the third line. Stop. Now make a big semicircle. This is D. Let's make D. Let's make K in line number 2 and 3 like this. Go up to the first line, go down to the third line, and there you go. D. Now we have letter E. E says A. To write E, begin with the first line, go to the third line. Stop. Now make sleeping line on line number 1, 2, and 3. This is E. Let's write A. Make a sleeping line between line number 2 and 3 and start moving back like K. There you go. This is A. E says A. This is letter F. F says F. To write F, make a standing line from line number 1 to line number 3. Stop. Sleeping line on line number 1. Sleeping line on line number 2. Stop. This is F. To write F, start a little below the first line and start moving back. Go straight down to line number 3. Stop and make a sleeping line here. This is F. F says F. Letter G. G says G. To write letter G, begin a little below line number 1 and make letter C. Stop. Make a straight line. This is letter G. Let's write G. Begin a little below line number 2 and make K. Then go up, down to line number 4 and turn here. This is G. G. G says G. Letter H. H says To write H, you need to make a standing line from line number 1 to line number 3. Another standing line and join them with a sleeping line. This is H. If you want to write start from line number 1, go to line number 3. Come up on the same line, round and down. This is Now we have letter I. I says A. To write I, make a standing line from line number 1 to line number 3, a sleeping line on line number 1, a sleeping line on line number 3. This is I. To write A, make a standing line between line number 2 and 3 and put a little dot in the air. This is A. I says A. Letter J. J says J. Let's write capital J. Begin from line number 1, go to line number 3 and turn. Stop. Make a sleeping line at the top. This is J. Let's write J. Start from line number 2 and go to line number 4. Turn. Stop. A dot at the top. J. J says J. Letter K. K says K. To write letter K, start from line number 1 and make a standing line to line number 3. Stop. Make a slanting line from line number 1 to line number 2 and again a slanting line from line number 2 to line number 3. This is your K. Let's write K. Standing line from line number 1 to line number 3. Stop. A short slanting line from line number 2 to its mid and then a short slanting line forward. This is K. Letter L. L says O. To write letter L, begin from line number 1, go to line number 3, stop, and then move forward. This is letter L. L says O. To write O, make a standing line. O. Letter M. M says To write M, you need to begin with line number 1, go to line number 3, stop. Now put your pencil here and go down to line number 3. Then again go up and down. This is letter M. To write make a standing line between line number 2 and 3, go down, come up, round and down, come up, round and down, stop. This is Let's write letter N. N says To write N, make a straight line down from 1 to 3, make a slanting line down from 1 to 3, and then go up to line number 1. This is letter N. Let's write Make a short standing line from line number 2 to 3, come up, round and down. This is Letter O. O says O. O. To write O, you need to begin from line number 1, make a circle, go to line number 3, touch it and come back. This is O. To write O, you need to do the same thing between line number 2 and 3. There you are. O and O. Now we have letter P. To write P, make a standing line from line number 1 to 3, come up on the same line and make a semicircle. This is P. Let's write P. Begin from line number 2, go to line number 4, come up on the same line and make a semicircle. P. Let's write letter Q. To write Q, you need to start from line number 1 and make a circle touching line number 3 like this, and then make a little line out like this. This is Q. Q says Qua. To write a small q, you need to make K like this, then go up, down to line number 4 and slanting up. This is a small q. Q always comes with its friend U and together they make the sound Qua. Next is letter R. R says To write R, make a standing line from line number 1 to 3, come up on the same line, Make a semicircle, stop, and make a slanting line to line number 3. This is R. To write R, make a standing line between 2 and 3, come up and out. This is Letter S. S says S. To write S, begin a little below line number 1 and start moving back. Curve, go forward and go back. This is letter S. To write sound, you need to make the same thing between line number 2 and 3. Start between line number 2 and 3. Start moving back, come forward and again back. This is S. Next is letter T. T says T. To make T, make a standing line from line number 1 to 3 and then make a sleeping line at line number 1. Letter T. To write its sound T, you need to start a little below line number 1, go straight down and turn. Then make a straight line at line number 2. This is T. Letter U. U says A. To write letter U, go straight down from line number 1 to 3, turn and come up. This is U. To write its sound A, start from line number 2, go to line number 3, curve, up, stop, go down to line number 3. This is A. U says A. Letter V. V says V. Start from line number 1, make a slanting line towards line number 3. And then go up to line number 1. This is letter V. V says V. To write V, start from line number 2, go to line number 3. Come again to line number 2. This is V. Letter W. W says W, W, W. To write W, begin from line number 1 and make a slanting line to line number 3. Come up to line number 1. Go down to line number 3. Come up to line number 1. This is W. W says W. Let's write W. Begin from line number 2, go to line number 3. Come up to line number 2. Go back to line number 3. Come up to line number 2. This is W. It's fun to write it. Now we have letter X. X says X. Let's write X first. Begin from line number 1. Go slanting down to line number 3. Again begin from line number 1 and make a cross. Go to line number 3. This is X. X says X. Make X in between line number 2 and line number 3. There you go. This is X. Letter Y. Y says Y. To make Y in the line, start from line number 1, go slanting down to line number 2. Again start from line number 1, go slanting down to line number 2. And now make a standing line. Y. Y says Y. To write Y, start from line number 2, go to line number 3, stop. Start from line number 2, go to line number 4, stop. This is Y. Y says Y. And the last letter, it's Z or Z. To write letter Z, make a straight line on line number 1, go slanting down to line number 3 and move forward straight. This is Z. Z says Z. To write Z, make a sleeping line at line number 2, go slanting down to line number 3, make another sleeping line at line number 3. This is Z. And this is how we write our English alphabet. You can practice all these things in your notebooks, or you can get these worksheets from my website. The link to download is in the description box. I'll see you soon with something new. Take care. Bye for now, and don't forget to make it a great day. Bye.